Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News for Wednesday, November 2nd, 2022, the Day of the Dead in Mexico and All Souls Day here in the USA. Interesting tradition there if you want to investigate it. Stand up for your country if you're alive. You can if you're dead. So you may remember last week I predicted that things are going to get really nasty the last few days before the vote. And of course, I am Karnak the Magnificent again. Remember Karnak from the Johnny Carson show? Because they're getting really nasty. And that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points Memo. Let's begin with who's angrier in this country right now, the right or the left? I'm going to submit to you it's the right, even though the left still hates Trump and they're still doing all kinds of bad stuff as far as trying to undermine our traditional system. This is my opinion, of course. But the right is furious because all Americans are getting hurt, even leftists, but the right knows why, because of the incompetence of the Biden administration. And the real frustration to those who aren't ideologically driven, like myself, is that there is no attempt being made to solve any problems. None. It's a denial. I mean, Biden, oh no, we don't have an open border. Hochul in New York, no, there's not a crime problem. No, it's the Republicans. They're worse there. Oh, no. And you'll hear in a few minutes one of the most astounding sound bites from Joe Biden that I have ever heard. Yet they get away with it because the corporate media has collapsed. They're not going to report anything now. So we begin on the nasty side. Let me do one more short setup. The conservatives are angrier and are more likely to vote because of that. They're angry because they're getting hurt financially. That's breaking it all down. The left is angry, but they know that things were a lot better under the Trump administration economically. There's no doubt about that, okay? But they're getting really nasty because they know they're going to lose. And we're going to get into that throughout this hour. But they know it's almost all over. And so I'm going to give you 3 examples of nastiness. Roll tape 1.
I also support the fact that Carrie Lake's a piece of shit, so I'm glad she did that ad.
And no one is going to say that you haven't put it all out on the line in the bluntest terms possible.
That woman is an idiot. If that guy had ever said that on any program that I anchored, he would have been immediately dismissed. You don't say things like that. Carrie Lake's a piece of that. You don't do that on a legitimate program. That program on MSNBC is not legitimate. It's an entertainment vehicle. But to that woman to sit there and allow that kind of behavior, it's just shocking. But it happens all the time. The second example we have is from a woman named Jennifer Lewis, who's an actress. She is campaigning for Val Demings, running against Rubio for the Senate in Florida. Here's what she said.
Marco Rubio is a liar. Y'all see that debate? Lied his off. Val Demings will win. She will win. She will win. So I say to Marco and all those other weak men, before you lie to us, remember Rosa sat on that bus.
Vile. I mean, it's disgraceful. Val Demings will not win. She'll go down by about 12 to 15 points. That woman, and remember, Demings picked her to do that. They knew what she was going to say. To invoke Rosa Parks, to call a sitting senator a liar, lied his ass off? What kind of campaign is that? What is that? It's simply hard to believe. It really is hard to believe. Third example is worse. This is a statement put up on the website for the White House. Quote, the guy purchases a hammer to kneecap the number 3 in line to be president of the United States of America. Number 2 in line, I should say, to be the president of the United States of America. It is number 3, by the way. And Biden continues, and nobody on that party, the Republican Party, condemns it for exactly what it is. Says it's not because I made a comment about this to be expected when you have leaders of the other party condoning the kind of conduct that is I just discussed and others. It's just gibberish. That statement is, that's on the White House press website. Can you believe that? So he's basically saying that nobody in the Republican Party condemned the attack on Paul Pelosi. I'll just give you a few names because we don't have time to give them all. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, Ted Cruz, Steve Scalise, Dick Cheney, Rand Paul, on and on and on and on. In fact, I don't know any Republican that did not condemn that attack. Yet he goes up there and just talk about lying your you-know-what off. Now, I'm not going to accuse Biden of doing that because I respect the office, okay? And I'm not going to get into that kind of vitriol. But Biden gets up there, he doesn't know what he's saying, and that's not an excuse for Biden. And he just, if you read the statement, you really should go to the White House website and punch it up. Or if you're a BillO'Reilly.com premium member, you can re-rack this and you can see the statement again. Put it up again full screen. Put the statement up so everybody can see it now. This is the President of the United States. All right? And he doesn't know who's number 2 or 3 in line to be president. He doesn't know that. He can't articulate what he's saying at all. And then he accuses the Republican Party of not condemning. Nobody on that party condemns it. It is almost as if we are in Venezuela or a country that has no standards, political standards at all. All right, so I gave us the specificity that I think the Talking Points memo always does, and that's it. So let's get to Real Clear Politics. That's a website. So right now they are prognosticating that the Republicans will pick up 31 seats in the House. 31. Should give them a big majority of the House. I think it's going to be 40 to 45. All right? As far as the Senate is concerned, Real Clear is forecasting 4 pickups. It'll be 54-46 GOP. I think that will be accurate, the 4 pickups. And then you won't have Georgia because neither candidate is going to reach the 50% threshold down there. Now, because of this, the Democrats just beside themselves. They don't know what to do. So they're lashing out, acting out, as they say, with children. And it's going to get worse in the next 5 days. We are on it. We are on it. And everybody who does this, I'm going to bring them right to you. So you don't ever forget. All right, here's Joe Biden's schedule today. Didn't do anything. All right, he was talking about training Americans for good jobs and Inflation Reduction Act, but he didn't really do anything. But he did something yesterday, and it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Okay, come back to me. This is a public speech in Florida, the Johnson Community Center, and here it is. Go.
We have the lowest inflation rate of almost any major country in the world. We've done a lot to try to take it under control. I've released millions of barrels of oil from our Strategic Petroleum Reserve, keeping the price down.
We have the lowest inflation rate of almost any major country in the world. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay, yeah, he did release more oil from the reserve. And since he had done that, Oil prices here are up 6%. Okay? They're not going down. Price of a barrel of oil going up. All right, on the lowest inflation front, here are the countries with lower inflation than we have. Here they are, a lot of them. China, Japan, Saudi Arabia, Switzerland, South Korea, Indonesia, France, Canada, Brazil, Australia, Spain, India, Singapore, South Africa. It's unbelievable. Yet I didn't see any of the corporate media calling him out on that. I don't care what he says. He can say whatever he wants to say. You know, I was on Hannity's radio program today, and I said, when Barack Obama ran for president, okay, this could not have happened. Obama could not have said all of these false things and gotten away with it, even though the press wanted desperately for him to be president. They would back then have called him out on it. Now they don't. That's the deterioration. And it goes hand in hand. You want political lying? It's simple to do if nobody's going to call you on it. Now, again, for Biden, he doesn't know what countries have a lower inflation rate. He doesn't even know what inflation is. The higher prices, he doesn't know how it gets here. He doesn't know how to bring it down. All right. You get it. I'm sure you get it. I'm so frustrated on this. Inflation at its highest level in 40 years. Interest rates skyrocketing. We all know that. Market experts like Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, not only predict a recession, but are using scary terms like economic hurricane and unprecedented. So, you need to call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Please call them today, and they will have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. They have thousands of satisfied customers, are the highest rated firm in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they'll give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. Please call 866-501-5201, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. All right, so nobody knows, obviously, what's going to happen on November 8th, next Tuesday, but the bettors are laying money on the results. Let's bring in Maxim Lott. You've seen him before. He's in Swarthmore, Pennsylvania. Executive producer for Stossel TV. That would be John Stossel. And he's the creator of electionbettingodds.com. First of all, explain to us, there's no legalized betting on politics in America, correct?
Well, it's complicated. So our website averages the odds from 5 different websites. Most of them are in the UK. There's one in the Bahamas. But there is one in the US that regulators gave an exception to. It's called predictit.com. It's had an exception for like 8 years. So Americans right now can go and bet on the election there. And our site pulls data from there. But the regulators just announced a few months ago they're ending that exception. And in February of next year, there will be no serious election betting in the U.S., but our site will keep reporting the odds.
But the feds won't do anything about it, even if there is. I don't believe they do anything about it. And then off the, grid, people are betting on the election all over the place, right?
Right, that's true. There are sites, people even are using cryptocurrency and on places like Polymarket, and they're betting. And our site just takes all of those and averages them together.
Now, why did the feds ban betting on politics?
Well, they say that it could give people bad incentives, like, if you have $25,000 on the line, you're going to push a candidate regardless of whether they're good or not. And you could have insider trading from, campaign staff. Those are the things they say they're concerned about. Those seem pretty trivial to me compared with getting to know what's going to happen. And people can also say, I'm really worried about this person coming to office, I can at least make some money off it, kind of hedging your risk there. So I think it should be allowed, obviously.
All right. So you tracked 730 candidates this year. No,
So that's our track
okay,
record.
since you begun. Okay. So let's talk about the overall picture. And again, this is for people who are laying money down. What is it? Ladbrokes? Is that the one in England, a big betting place?
That's a big one. What we pull from is Betfair and Smarkets in the UK, because they have kind of almost like a stock exchange type thing set up where it's very, there's no bookie. It's like people are trading with each other, just like on a stock market.
All right. The odds of the Republicans winning the House are?
They're 88%. So Republicans are a lock for the House.
Okay. Senate?
It's 2/3, which changed a lot since we last talked. It was a coin toss. Now the Republicans are pretty strongly favored for the Senate.
Okay. Arizona is a very hotly contested state in the gubernatorial and in the Senate. What's that look like there?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. It just flipped yesterday from a slight edge for Kelly to a slight edge for Masters. And that happened when the Libertarian announced he was endorsing the Republican. So that flipped it over the edge. It's still basically a coin toss, but it's interesting to see the effect of that.
And how about Lake?
She's strongly favored.
Oh, okay. The bettors are going in for Lake there. All right,
Yeah.
Nevada, Republican Senate candidate and governor candidate, correct?
Yeah. So the Senate race is pretty strongly favored for the Republican now. I'm actually a little surprised to see that because Nevada the statewide race hasn't gone Republican since 2014. And they mail ballots to everyone, regardless of whether they request one. So there's a lot of room. I've had relatives send me photos of mail rooms and apartments in Nevada, and there are ballots everywhere. But they say the Republican is favored 72%. That's Laxalt. For the governor, the Republican is also favored 75%.
That would be amazing if it was a landslide in Nevada. That'd be an indicator for all over the country.
Yeah.
Now, Georgia, what's the situation between Warnock and Walker?
Yeah, so that remains super close. That has flipped. When we last talked, Warnock was up about 60%, had about 60% chance. Now Walker has a 60% chance. So, and the polls are also slightly favoring Walker. So he has the edge, but we'll see. It's a coin toss. A lot of these races are so close.
That Vince Dooley commercial, the late coach of the Georgia Bulldogs, where Walker played, that has, according to people I know in Georgia, made a big difference, particularly among African-American voters who are now swinging over to him.
Interesting. Yeah, I can see that because the odds are shifting. That's what I can see.
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire is something, when we last talked 3 weeks ago, it wasn't even in play. It was 80% Democrat. Now it's 58%. Hassan has only 58%. So Bolduc, he's been going around to all these town halls, been doing multiple ones a day. It seems like there might be a grassroots shift there, and the Republicans have a chance to grab that one now.
Okay, I think that Bolduc's going to beat her up there. And because, there are so many independents in New Hampshire who are getting hammered. Heating oil bills in New Hampshire this winter, that's going to put a lot of people into the red. I mean, you're going to make household budgets collapse. That's how bad that is. Wisconsin, Ohio, and North Carolina, you say, are, according to bettors, are safe Senate seats for Republicans, right?
Yep, that's right. Those used to be close, but now it's just like more than 85% for each of those. They're pretty much a done deal.
Now, Sean Hannity was telling me today, and I don't have data to back it up, that Patty Murray, the liberal Democrat in Washington, is tied with her opponent. What's going on in Washington State?
Yeah, I saw there were some polls suggesting that the bettors still say, she's an incumbent in a blue state. She's still strongly favored. She's got 79%. But that race, it shouldn't even be on the radar. And Republicans do have a chance there. That's kind of their long shot to to get to
That'd be
55
amazing.
even.
That would be even worse in California because Washington, it's all controlled by Seattle as Oregon's controlled by Portland. Now, in New York, there are two polls, Emerson, which has Hochul out in front by a wide margin, and Trafalgar, which has Zeldin out in front by a small margin. How do the bettors see that?
Yeah, it's another place the Republicans shouldn't even have a chance, but Lee Zeldin's got 27% chance. He'd be the first Republican since Pataki to be governor there.
That seems low to me. That seems low. The momentum is on his side. Hochul booted it in the debate. Another horrendous crime we'll get to in a little while here, right at Hochul's doorstep. But it would have to be the machine politics of the city to make that number stand up, I would think.
Yeah, we'll see. That's where you're voting, I guess.
Yeah, I'm voting in New York, and I'm going to vote for Zeldin. And I never tell anybody who I'm going to vote for, because I do vote for Democrats. But I can't, in good conscience, vote for Kathy Hochul. Puts every single citizen in the state in danger. That's what she does.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, it's interesting to compare the media's coverage of Zeldin, the guy who attacked Zeldin, to the Pelosi thing going on now, which is just wall to wall.
Sure. The media is a partner with the Democratic Party. In Oregon, Christine Drazan, the Republican, is favored to win, right?
Yeah, which is shocking. She's actually favored to win, not even a long shot. And big reason is there's this Democrat who's kind of disaffected. She's like, this wasn't my party. She ran as an independent and is draining 10% from the Democrats. So that's how the Republicans are favored to win in Oregon now for the governor.
Well, I was out of Salem and Portland. I think the whole state will go GOP. And in Michigan, Whitmer's in trouble. Governor Whitmer in trouble, right?
Yeah, she might be. There's a 1/3 chance she'll get booted there. I'm almost surprised it's not higher. She had a lot of COVID scandals from flying to Florida when she told people not to do that, to being in bars against her own COVID lockdown orders. So there's a 1/3 chance she'll be out there in Michigan.
Yeah, I don't know that state. I can't make a prediction there. But I knew some of the polls have it tied right now. So overall, the bettors, the people putting their own cash on the line for November 8th, they're saying both houses of Congress will go Republican and many of the gubernatorial races as well. Is that it?
Exactly, yeah. The betting is very good news for the Republicans basically across the board. And it's a big shift from 3 weeks ago and 6 weeks ago. It's all been moving in the Republicans' direction.
All right, Maxim, we really appreciate it. Thanks for coming on and helping us out.
Oh, thank you, Bill.
Hiring, of course, should be done on merit. Unfortunately, many large financial firms are using your money to force companies like Apple and Home Depot to adopt so-called racial equity audits. Strive Asset Management believes it makes companies like those less successful. But here's the good news. It is your money, not theirs. Strive just launched the Strive 500 on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol STRV. Strive uses their shareholder power to mandate America's largest public companies to focus on products and profits instead of politics and social justice. The bigger Strive gets, the more powerful their voice will be. Text BILL to 55022 to learn how you can buy the Strive 500, ticker STRV. That's BILL to 55022 to learn how you can buy Strive today.
Investors should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses carefully before investing. For a prospectus or summary prospectus with this and other information about the fund, please call 855-427-7360 or visit our website at www.strivefunds.com. Read the prospectus or summary prospectus carefully before investing. Investments involve risk. Principal loss is possible. The Strive ETFs are distributed by Quasar Distributors, LLC.
So, the final thought of the day is we need your help. As you may know, because I blather about it, we have a concierge member program at BillO'Reilly.com. We all are members, and they pay a fee, but we keep it down because we have staff that monitors this. The concierge membership allows you all over the world to email me directly. Okay? I see them all. No censorship. And if you have a problem in any area, my team, based on my guidance, will try to help you. This is an amazing service. And we have helped a lot of people, sometimes getting them a lot of money back that they were fleeced out of. So what I'd like you concierge members to do, and I hope you will, is to write me an email, again, bill@billoreilly.com, if we have helped you. And just a couple of brief sentences. Here's how the concierge membership helped us, because I wanted to market this heavily for Christmas gifts. And, you know, your experience with us is the best way to market it. So you concierge members, and you're very loyal, if we have helped you, just write a paragraph maybe. This is my problem. Here's what BillO'Reilly.com concierge membership did, and thanks a lot, or whatever. Okay, and then I can read some of that mail to the hundreds of thousands of people that are watching and listening to this broadcast every night. So thank you very much. We hope you are appreciating our election coverage. We are working very hard on it. We'll be back tomorrow, and we'll see you then. There is a concerted effort to intimidate and silence conservative thinkers, rewrite American history, and replace our God-given individual liberty with big government controls. The very freedoms secured by our Constitution are now being threatened by the most liberal leftists our nation has ever seen. They have failed to secure our borders, weakened our position on the global stage, are trying to indoctrinate and corrupt our children in school, and the list goes on and on. But there are plenty of patriots with the courage to stand up to the far left. AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, is the leading conservative advocacy and benefits organization in the USA. I am a member, and I hope you will join as well. AMAC members have access to money-saving benefits, a robust website and mobile app, and a magazine filled with all kinds of great content. So please join AMAC today at amac.us and tell them O'Reilly sent you. That's amac.us.